3 checkpoint results up there on the interactive board. You gave the same checkpoint last school year, and the students last school year performed at a 74% average score. This school year, you can see there at the bottom, the students performed at an 82% score, which is in the blue accelerated level and performance band. So that is an 8% increase from last year to this year. That's excellent. Those are great results. So you can certainly be proud of your students and that increase in performance. So you can see along the bottom level there, you can see each of the questions, and you can see the strengths and the areas of weakness. But let's look at it together.
With this question, where I noticed that my students got thrown off, is just they didn't realize that they were comparing the ancient Olympics over on the left-hand side to the modern Olympic game paragraph over on the right-hand side. They were looking for another full passage and not just a passage with a paragraph. And I just don't know that we've exposed them to enough different scenarios. They're looking for 2 full-blown passages.
Yes, I had a lot of questions on that.
And that has nothing to do with the question itself. It was more like, what am I comparing here?
Sure.
Okay. They kind of.
The question is even worded nicely too. It says both texts. It doesn't say both passages. It doesn't say like these 2 texts that are on the screen. So maybe we just need to reiterate like the difference between paragraph, passage, and text, and what all of those mean to our students.
Even like in Storyworks, they have some of those where there's a longer passage and then maybe like a sidebar or a timeline, and just showing them that those also are paired passages, even though it's not necessarily like long,
Right.
like you think of.
Yeah, I can see that visually, but the question, and I like it that it does clearly state both texts.
They just weren't recognizing that modern Olympics games was the text that they needed to be comparing the first one to.
I think the word text threw off a lot of kids too. So we've been using the word passages a lot, paired passages. And I had some of them say, not understand the word text.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to make sure that we're using all of the vocabulary so that when they see it on a test, they are like, oh, I know what that is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good exposure.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see how they answered this one. I love this tool. This tool is great.
Okay.
So,
I have A and D. A lot of A and D.
So the correct answer is B. So 105 students did get it correct, but 61 students picked A, which was why were the ancient Olympic Games started?
I think when I go over this test, I'm gonna really focus on how to answer this type of question and really go back and look for the answer, because I think that they were like, oh, I think it talked about this ancient games in both, and I think they're like, oh, A sounds good, but I don't really think they looked for the answer. At least that's how I feel with my students.
Let's go to the other question. There were 2 weaknesses, question 1 and question 8. Those were the 2 that really. Context clues. What is the meaning of industrialized as it is used in paragraph 3? And those types of questions will certainly show up on a state assessment.
Yes. I think this one, it's tricky because it's not just a definition of industrialized. It's taking what does
inferential.
Yes, you're taking, okay, what do I know about that word industrialized, and then how is it used in the sentence, and then you're looking at the answer choices. Is he honored for his achievements Are we talking about what he accomplished? I think it's just, it's not like a verbatim industrialized means this. And I think that's what they were looking for in the passage.
Yeah, they go back and they look for the evidence, and I think they saw the word honored.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's in the same sentence as industrialized, and it's in choice A, so I think that's where my kids went.
Yeah, I had a lot, 60%, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would say A, wow. They didn't even read the next sentence, which basically gives the
Yes.
definition.
Yes,
Yeah.
which, yeah, that's the clue, but I think they saw industrialized and honored next to each other, and
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what that word means.
So
So,
you can see why they.
I can see why they picked it.
Performance Matters has been a very beneficial tool that I feel that we've used in our classrooms. The data that it provides is unmatched by a lot of things that we have seen. You know, we use the Performance Matters questions to look at areas of strength, areas of weakness. We also look at how students are doing. Are they able to retain what they're learning? Because that is the goal, not for them to just take the test and, you know, forget about the material. We then look at the specific questions where we saw the area of weakness. And we actually take those questions and we're going to implement them as problem of the days to begin our classrooms each day. And we do our best to indicate what the level was on this question, whether we're looking at depth of knowledge, or we will actually color code these to show the students this was an area of weakness that we had. Let's try to see, you know, if we can do better. Because sometimes just revisiting it and spiraling back to something that they previously learned, the students are now ready to comprehend it and apply their knowledge as well.
Yes. Along with the Performance Matters, it does help us to align our common assessments. So our common assessments, we will look and see where we might need to add a question that we didn't have on last year. So we're constantly changing our common assessments. The depth of knowledge level 2, 3, those are all getting more difficult, more processing, which is very difficult for a 7th grade.
To ask the students, you know, what are you thinking through on this problem? Or, you know, was it just the wording of it? Is this a processing, you know, issue? So getting their feedback and using data from them is equally as powerful as just looking at numbers.
Right. And I